Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Late Bloomer podcast with your host, Asia. I'm excited to be back. Episode 2. Look at me and consistency. Besties. Trust me, that's one of my biggest issues in life is being consistent. But we'll do a deep dive into Asia and all her issues throughout this podcast. But today, I really wanted to delve into the topic of redefining success. This hit me during the week, because I think I've actually passed this now, to be honest with you. But throughout my 20s, that was one of my big hurdles, was trying to dismantle the ideas of what success is supposed to look like, trying to figure out where it came from and who gave me those ideas, who and what gave me those ideas, and what success really means to me. And what things actually are markers of success. So let's start. So I think that my framework for success definitely came from being an immigrant, coming from an immigrant family. My family's Jamaican, and we came from Jamaica back in I think my family probably moved throughout the 80s, the 70s and the 80s. I'm a second generation American, and everyone in my family were all middle class, college educated Jamaicans, most of us. And for my generation, the standard was go to school, get a good traditional occupation, and get married and have some children, and that's that. That was the standard. That was what we were supposed to do. And I realized quickly that school was not for me. I wasn't good at it. Things didn't come to me easily. I just wasn't flourishing the way that my cousins were. Especially, this is another thing, is that, and tell me if you guys agree or not, but I feel like in the Black community, as women, I feel like the pressure to be great or achieve in education and get a good job and all that stuff is on us more than our male counterparts. I don't know. And we're definitely compared a lot with our female, cousins and sisters and whatever. So my dad was always, I don't want to blame him, but my family in general, it's always look at Shirley, look what she did. Look at Marsha, look how she got a degree. Look at, she's a doctor now. Look at, and I knew quickly, first grade, I was like, this ain't for me. I'm not good at this. I'm smart, but I just couldn't I just couldn't capture information and regurgitate it and get concepts easily from a textbook and from a teacher telling me stuff. It just wasn't, the math wasn't mathing to me so easily like other kids were. I eventually found out that I just had really bad ADHD. And I know everybody got ADHD nowadays, but I really had ADHD. And it's a very common thing to have. And I felt like in my community, it wasn't it wasn't talked about a lot. And it just wasn't on our parents' radar, to take their child to a psychiatrist to diagnose them with ADHD. And even going to elementary school, the kid that had ADHD, that had a list on his desk, and and the teacher would write down everything that he did for the day, and he had to check it off. We all looked at that kid was weird, but truly, deep in my soul, I was like, that list is mad useful. That list, that's helpful. That would help me, honestly. So I wish I knew. I'd be way further in life. I should probably stop saying stuff like that. But I would be way further in life, I think, if I just knew that kind of stuff. But anywho, redefining success. That's what we're talking about. So what is success to me? Success is success based on my parents and my culture is graduating, getting lots of degrees, and becoming one of those traditional professions. That's what success was. That's what I thought it was, and that's what I carried for a very long time. And because school didn't come naturally to me, and I didn't know what I wanted to do when I went to college at all. Like, throughout the 4 years of college, I had absolutely no idea. The truth is that when I was a kid, I was raised by a single dad, and he was at work all the time, and I was at home, and the TV pretty much watched me. That was my babysitter. I watched a lot of TV, a lot of series, a lot of Disney, a lot of whatever. And honestly, I wanted to be an actress. Like, I knew that I had like a funny, funky personality, and like I wanted to be That's So Raven. I was like, I can see into the future too, bitch. Like, I wanted to be her so bad. That's what I wanted to do. Like, I saw myself in her. Do you carry a lunchbox? Like, that was me in my mind. So that's what I wanted to do. Like, I didn't really have any passions. Like, when kids are like, I want to be a doctor and I want to be a this, and I'm like, nope. I thought something was wrong with me. Like, I thought that's like some wires in my brain weren't like connected, because I just had no desire to do anything specific like that. Like, I just had daydreams of being on Disney Channel, honestly. So I get to college now, and I get there and by the skin of my chinny chin. I don't know how the fuck I got there, to be honest with you. Honestly, the SATs, I don't know. I don't even remember what my grade was, honestly. But a school took me, thank God. And all 4 years, I had no idea what I wanted to be. But this is the thing. I wouldn't accept that I didn't know what I wanted to be, because there was this pressure from my family and from my culture and from the fact that I was being sent to this private institution, this fancy private school, and I'm coming from Jamaica, and my dad is spending all this money to get me here, and my family believes in me and wants and thinks I want to do great things. I just didn't admit that I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I would pretend. I pretended a lot. Most of my late teenage and early 20s was a lot of pretending. So I went in there and I was like, what did I say? I think I wanted to be a dentist. I heard somebody say they were going to be a dentist. So I was like, I'll be a dentist. So I went in there and I picked up chemistry and biology and all this shit. When I tell you that the chemistry teacher pulled me aside and she was like, hey, what are you doing? Have you ever done chemistry before? And I was like, nope, this is my first time. And she was like, I can tell. You're bad. And I was like, oh, okay. So maybe this isn't for me. So I left that profession, and then I wanted to be an accountant, actually. And I was actually pretty good at accounts. I was. But that's because I was heavily on Adderall at that time. That's a story for another day. But because of my little Adderall habit, I was like I saw everything was clear, everything made sense. But the thing is, I was abusing Adderall. I had ADHD, but I didn't know that I had ADHD until I was in my mid-20s. I didn't know that I actually had it. So at the time, my partner had ADHD, and I just took those pills. And I should have known at the time, because those pills didn't make me hyper, or I didn't feel like I was ready to party, or I was I just felt regular. I just went from down here to baseline, and I was able to function. I should have known from then. But because I was on Adderall during the time that I thought that I wanted to be an accountant, I was doing really well in that major. And that teacher was like, you're doing amazing. You should become an accounts major. I think I went into business. I think I was a business admin major at the time. She was like, you are so good. Please. Sorry, I missed a step. When I first got into college, I thought I wanted to be a sociologist because the only class in high school that was interesting to me was sociology. So when I went into college, I actually went as a sociology major. And then I saw on Google that they don't make any money. And, from growing up in my family, it's all about making money, getting a degree that can make it is successful. So I was like, this won't do. So I went and decided to become a dentist. And then the chemistry teacher was like, you're bad. So then I stopped doing that. And then I started taking Adderall, went into business admin, and was doing really, really well. Okay, I graduate college now in 5 years, by the way, because my first year I failed. I graduate college. It was not easy. I graduated with all A's after Adderall. And I leave now, and now I just get a job, any job that I can possibly get. And now I'm trying to figure out, okay, I still don't know what I want to do. I still have no idea. But I feel like everybody around me is starting on their path to like what they're going to be, especially because the school that I went to was a predominant nursing college. So everybody there was there for a reason and left with a path. And I left having no idea what I was going to do. But that was a very small, like, snippet of my peer group. You know what I mean? Like, what I saw around me on Instagram was a bunch of nurses. And I thought that was a representation of everybody who was 22. And I thought that, and also my student loans was like, all right, we're ready for you to pay us back now. And I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm behind. I'm a loser. I don't know. What am I going to do? Holy crap. So, all right. Now I am 23, 24. I'm working for an insurance agency. It's just a job that I got. I'm not making a lot of money. And I'm depressed, and my peer group in my head is surpassing me, but there's just nothing that I want, that I have any desire for. The only thing that I really think is interesting is YouTube. That's the only thing that's genuinely very interesting to me. And I'm telling you, it's so crazy to admit this now, but I thought something was wrong with me. I thought that I was like a loser, that the thing that I thought was cool, or I wish I could be, or I dreamed of being, was like in the creative industry, being a YouTuber or being an actress or whatever the case was. Like, I really thought that was me being a loser. And I'm so happy for Gen Zs. Can I tell you? I'm so fucking happy for them, because they have the freedom. They are in a culture where it's not weird, and they don't have this society and parents and whatever telling them what is success, because success to them is making money the way that they want to fucking make money. And if they want to be on social media, if they want to be a YouTuber, if they want to go be an actress, if they want to make skits online, they can do whatever they want. Like, the world is their oyster. And I'm so happy for them, because when I was growing up, and I could have done it then, I really could have, but I just wasn't in that frame of mind where I thought that was normal. That's not what I saw. And I didn't have the belief in myself where I thought that was cool. Anyway, so the point is that success to me is no longer, fast forwarding to now at 31, success to me has nothing to do with traditional careers for me. Success to me is doing something that you can make money, not just enough money to survive and live, enough money where you're incredibly comfortable, where you got that residual income, right? And you're doing something that you can stand, like you enjoy, that gives you purpose, and that you want to improve in. Like, not something where you're just like, whatever. it is what it is, something that you really want to like get better at and level up in life, I think that that's success in terms of career. Now let's talk about success in other areas of your life. Having a healthy and balanced diet, having a workout routine, having a meditation routine, having a self-care routine. Those are forms of success as well. Having a healthy relationship with your partner where you guys are learning how to communicate better. That is like success in life. Like being able to keep communication with your friends. Like, you know what I mean? Like keeping up a healthy like relationship with your friends where you guys talk often and you go out and you like pouring into that relationship and not letting it just die out because you're in your 30s. That's success. Like, I think, sorry for breathing into the mic like that, but I think that success has other places in your life other than just like what your career is. And it took me a really long time to realize that, because for most of my 20s, I was like severely anxious and depressed over, and I'm not talking about like just depressed, like clinical depression. I was really stressed out about the fact that I didn't know what I wanted to do and I wasn't successful yet. And, I'm not growing in my field and I'm not blah, 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 blah. And I really neglected the fact that you don't like your career. You don't know what you want to do. You do know what you want to do, but you're so focused on what other people think that you're not doing it. That's number one. And number two, you aren't focused on other areas of your life that need growth as well, not just what you're going to do for a living. Like there's so many other things in life. I neglected all of that stuff in my 20s, I think, personally. Not to be down on myself. I also had a great time in my 20s. I hung out with my friends. I moved back to Jamaica, by the way. That's what I wanted to tell you. I did something a little bit different than what my rest of my family did. I moved back to Jamaica, maybe when I was 25, just because I just wanted to experience what Jamaica as an adult. You know, I wanted to experience my country, where my roots are from, as an adult and not just as a child. And I really enjoyed it, and it was excellent and great, and it really helped me to find who I am. But yeah, I just think that we need to give ourselves credit and for things that aren't just career based, and find happiness not just through your career but through like the other facets of your life. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I don't know how long this one was. I hope I wasn't talking for too long, but yeah, this was like a really important topic for me and I just had to share it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. This has been incredible. And I'll see you then. I don't know how to close these off. I'm so awkward. Jesus Christ. I will see you next week. Bye.